Okay, so who all is here?
Sadhna?
Hi, Sadhna. Welcome.
Hi. Thank you. Welcome.
Nice birthday, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Thank you.
Much money and so much.
Who is that?
That's sweet.
Much money and so much.
Oh,
how
bless
nice.
your ears. So happy to have you. Who else is here?
Suzanne.
Hari Prem? Hari Das? Say it again.
Tej Preet.
Tej Preet? Was that
Yes.
Hari Das and Guru Prem? Okay, so who else is here?
Suzanne.
Hi, Suzanne. Welcome.
Hi there. Thank you.
And who else?
Guru Atma.
Hi, Guru Atma.
Morning.
How are you?
Good.
Good. And who else?
Carol.
Hi, Carol. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine.
Good. I'm glad. And who else?
Harinder.
Hi, Harinder.
How are you?
Good. How's the weather there in New Jersey?
It's gorgeous.
Oh, that's wonderful. And who else is here?
Harimander.
Hi, Harimander. The weather in Juneau is good?
Yes.
Oh, Gustavus.
I'm back in Juneau.
Oh, okay. It's good? Good. And who else is here?
Satna Shan.
Hi, Satna Shan. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing well, thanks.
Congratulations on your new job.
Thank you.
How's it going?
Well, I start on the 21st of May, so I'm finishing up my old job this week, and then I have a week off, and then I start the new one.
Oh, fabulous. And it's producing children's programs for your local PBS?
It's actually using the programming materials to help educate children in the community. So it's doing sort of programming and community engagement.
That is wonderful.
Yes.
We're so happy. Guru Ramdas did a good job, huh?
Yeah, he did.
That's great. So who else is here?
Hargoben.
Hi, Hargobind. How are you?
Siri Gian, I'm doing great.
That was a good article in hydroponics. I enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah, the aquaponics.
Huh?
Aquaponics.
Aquaponics. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Good. Well, thank you.
Oh, absolutely.
And who else is here? Okay. So here we go. So everybody please sit straight. Long deep breath. Palms together at the center of the chest, bringing the left and right sides of the brain together. Oh, with the wish-fulfilling cow in the center of your palms, like Amandeep said. Okay. Long, deep breath, eyes at the third eye point. And relax into your third eye. And inhale to begin. Long deep breath.
Satnam and Sonkar.
Satnam, we are doing long deep breath. And now begin doing heart breath. That is long deep breath through the nose and from the belly. And exhaling through your heart center. Really allow that energy to move, 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 move. Good. And now allow this beautiful energy. Please share it with everybody who's either on this call now or who is listening to the recording. You are building such a beautiful relationship of souls among you as you do this, and as you do this over time. Please be very aware of this. Good. And now, please send out this beautiful energy to everyone who needs it, but in particular to the ones who feel like they have been lost or their heart has collapsed or their loss is too much to bear. If this includes you, please also give and receive the energy. Inhale and exhale. And feel the beauty of this very exquisite energy moving all the way through you. Babaji, he's here. He says, please understand that this incredible energy is that which moves through you at every second, every millisecond. He said, and if you tune into it, he said, your life will change. That is, if you do your best to stay in awareness of this consciousness, of this energy, of this breath, of this knowing of who you are and what flows through you, he says your life will change. He says many of you have already done that, have begun this process. He says this is what will elevate you. This is your prana. He says this is your parvati. He says, please keep up this exquisite breath of knowing, of being succinct in the flowing of your own breath. He says he wants to talk to us a little bit about breath today. He says a little bit. Okay. So keep up the breath. He says you already know, he says from your classical studies, you know about the oxygen part. You know about the oxygen exchange. He says actually there is so much more to this than meets the eye or meets high school biology. He said it is far more than that, even on the physical level. He says by the quantum leaps, by the quantum knowing, he says your breath, he says it fulfills a state of consciousness. He says it innervates a state of consciousness within your own brain. He said it is a place just above and at the tip of the brainstem that holds, it's like a candle that holds and radiates the essence of consciousness, and that is powered, is connected to the breath. He said it is this small location that when it fails either in blood supply or in oxygen supply, when it fails to work, to operate, he says that is when it releases the soul from the body. He says that's the gist of it. He says there is much more connected. He says, but we're not going to give you a science lesson today, just to point to it. He says now the knowing that comes from the breath is so exquisitely important. He said he calls it exquisite because he says if you could see the beauty of it, he says if any of you are mathematicians, you understand the exquisite working of mathematics when in harmony, when in flow. You understand the elegance of the solutions. He says this is what your breath does within your own physical body as it maintains it, as it energizes it, as it, he says, as it moves the controls to the higher levels. He says, in fact, this happens with all living beings. He says, of course, all mammals have this, but of course, and he says other lower vertebrates also have this. He says, but it is in the human body that the connection with a greater body, the greater bodies of soul, and the other bodies that Yogi Bhajan has described, he says this is where that connection is first made. He says it is in the line of the Sushumna and the Ida and the Pingala. He says this is your source of life. He says please revere it. This is not he says it may be small in size, but it is not small in mechanism. He's calling this the seat of the soul. And so I'm asking him, sir, do you have a name for this particular piece of the anatomy? He said, if I said it, you would not recognize it. It has not been pulled forward in science yet. It is an unknown. Okay, so he's saying, please just allow it to be and understand that it works for you. Okay, so keep up your breath. Consciously keep up your breath. And understand the nourishment that you are feeding this area. Understand the nourishment that you are feeding this area. He said it is directly related to the 10th gate. So please concentrate on your 10th gate, which is a subtle opening in the top of your head. And which opens to the higher chakras. Keep up the breath. He says now he wants you to understand that the breath also activates the what will be understood by quantum physics as the creative, what we're going to call the creative aspect. He says it is accessible by you. He says you have been taught that you, well, certainly among us, you have been taught that you have access to the creative. He says, but on the general day-to-day level, he says people have been taught that they do not have direct access to that level of consciousness. There is not an awareness of that. He says, I'm telling you that this is the area in which all change happens, all knowing happens, all perspective is brought together and laid out into the terms of the creative universe. He says, breathe, and he says, allow that candlelight, allow that brilliance, allow it to spread out to this higher dimension, this much more subtle dimension. Keep up the breath. Keep up the knowing. Keep up the awareness. He says, and now just while you're doing that, he says, just allow me to whisper in your ear, to whisper in your consciousness, something that is very important that can be created through you, through this awareness. He says, now please listen. Good. He says, and now please put this on the wave of consciousness that emanates from this area, this physical area of the brain, and moves through the 10th gate, up into the awareness or the arena of total consciousness, and then also moves back down through the body, right down into Mother Earth. He says, you've done this so many times, and continue the cycle now. Continue the cycle. Just allowing this intention, what you would call an intention, to move through you and to be carried out on the ways of conscious creation. Just allow it. Don't make it, don't force it, don't push it. Just allow it. Be present to it. Keep up the breath. The breath actually moves the waves of energy through this creative process. Good. And he says, allow that to continue. He says, as you continue that, also keep up this wave motion in the infinite through the creative arena. He says, and then as you do that, spread it. He says, like one of those seed planters of old who would scatter the seeds. Allow those seeds to be scattered out through your heart breath as you continue this cycling now. And when he says heart center, at this time he's talking about flowing out from the front of your heart center as well as the back of your heart center. Understand that you are most calmly, most potently residing in the act of creation. Keep up the breath. Keep it up. He says, as you understand this, you will understand what totally creative and blessed beings you are. This is your role on this path of yoga, this path of union, to realize that this is happening through your own body, through your own consciousness, within this creative arena that we call time and space, and where we are located on earth. He says, but do you see, you are also located in infinity, which frankly has no location. Allow all of that to merge within your own consciousness, the conundrum of finite with infinite. Keep up the breath. He says, you live in this time and space. He says, you are the infinite projection. Know that, feel that, understand that. And now he is asking you to take something, some awareness that is puzzling to you or that is offensive to you or that hurts you. He says, please put it in that place within the 10th gate. Keep up the breath. Keep up the cycling. He says, and let it unravel. Let it unravel with his movement of energy. He says there are so many gifts in this package of energy, this package of consciousness. Let it unravel. Let the emotions unfold. He says, and now let the awareness and the solution come to you. It's present for you. He says, let it come to you. He says, and now let the wisdom come to you on this particular situation as you allow it to integrate. He says, allow it to integrate with your own family of beings. What he means by that is that we are all comprised of a multitude of awareness and consciousness. So let this situation integrate with all that is you. Let all parts of you resonate with it, with this understanding and this truth. That you are integrating within your own collection of being. Use your breath. He says, what an exquisite rendezvous this is. You are so blessed. You are so aware. This awareness of your own consciousness is the gift of being human. Keep it up. He says so often we forget, we overlook, we allow ourselves, how can I say? He says, he calls it the criminal joy of being wrapped up in our own difficulties. He said, this is the way to unwind them so that the wisdom is available to you and the healing energy is open and available to all of your collective consciousness. He says, so be very aware that all of your difficulties, as you allow the infinite, as you accept the infinite to handle them, and then you integrate that into your own being, that is how you change the world. That's because it has an effect on the totality of the collective. That is the group or the awareness of all the humans here on Earth. He says there's more to that, but that is what we are concentrating on now. He says moving yourself out of your own personal wars and unconsciousness is how you have a reverberating effect on the creative level that affects all within the human consciousness. He said, you would not believe how important, how provocative, how extraordinary the totality of the total human force of consciousness is. Excellent. Now, at this moment, lend your energy, your awareness on the, he calls it the health waves, the reverberation of the consciousness, of the infinite consciousness, as it creates its transition and transformation into that of humanity, allow stability, allow progress, and allow connection with the infinite knowing, with the soul, to all within this human consciousness. Lay the foundation for the Aquarian Age. Allow it to come through you. Keep up the breath. Now bless it. Continue to bless it with your own kindness. You said this is not a therapy kindness. This is a kindness of sacredness, a kindness of awareness, a kindness of accepting the tears, kindness of accepting the mayhem and the chaos, not into your own body, but you as in this creative force. Allowing it, accepting it, accepting it to melt and to transform into that which nurtures the change of this new age, which has its effect on the fear and the separateness as we move into this new space of openness. Of regalness, understanding that each projection of the infinite, each human is totally sovereign within the connection to the pure consciousness of the infinite. Accept all into their true identity. This is how you consciously play the role of the God that you are. This is how you consciously, as a human in time and space, play the role of the projection of the totality of the God, generating, organizing, destroying, that you are. This is not an overreaching, this is an accepting, allowing yourself to be at the center of who you are. Keep up the breath and allow the steadiness and the purpose to flow through you. He says, what a pure perfection you are. Allow yourself to understand that you are the pure perfection. As you do, you continue to allow feelings or ideas of smallness, of worry, of concerns that feel out of your reach, of chaos. Allow them to open up like flowers, like many-petaled lotus, open, so that they can be transformed by the consciousness, the awareness that flows through you, that emanates from your center. Know who you are. He says, you are my blessed beings. He says, together we are the blessed beings. Understand your preciousness. Understand your connection, your source in the total creativity that flows through the total collective, the joined souls. Yogi Bhajan told us you are the other person, and of course the other person is you. No worries, each one with its own definition, each one with its own mask, each one with its own role to play. Just allowing it. Breathe. Good. And opening now. Know who you are. Know who you are now. And he says, now, please, dear ones, he says, please write down your experience, your knowledge. Each one has a little different take on this. He said it is so important to share it so that all may learn, so that we may all have different viewpoints from the same source. Please write your experience. Good. And now he says, who can share?
Siri Gian?
Yes.
Hi, this is Omkar.
Hi, Omkar.
Thank you, Babaji, so much. That was so beautiful and profound.
Oh, good.
I'm still feeling a little altered. You know, when you asked us to share or you're asking us to share, and what I'd like to share is when Babaji whispered in my ear, he said, love yourself, and then he said to the utmost. And, you know, I've really been working on that. I'm sorry?
Say it again, please.
Love yourself to the utmost.
Wow.
You know, and what came to me is I've been working on that, but, you know, as we love ourselves, you know, I was thinking of the Aquarian Sutra that says, see any other person as you.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it's all about, you know, seeing the love in others, but how can we do that unless we love ourselves? So, you know, as Yogi Bhajan said, see God in all. And I believe that is the God in all, is as we see the God within us, as we see the love within us. So it was really beautiful. And
wonderful.
I was also seeing like a dusting within. And I don't know if that makes sense, but I feel like I was being dusted off.
Oh.
And me. So dusting out the old.
Oh, that's great.
And that's just a little bit. I feel like there was so much more than just those few things, but to put them in words sometimes it's interesting. But thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, dear. We appreciate it. Dusting you off to promote connectivity. That's what he says. Thank you. Now,
thank you.
Who else can share? Carol, would you like to share? Oh, no, wait a minute. Somebody's speaking up.
It's Suzanne.
Okay. And Carol, we'll come to you in a minute. Okay. Suzanne, please tell us.
Well, I think I saw a kitchen sink. I know. I was thinking, oh, crud, I couldn't even see or hear this. But
and so what does that mean to you?
it's a cleansing, but for me, I work in clay. I work with lots of mud, and it has to do with cleansing. And so I imagine that I related it to something that happened in the last 2 weeks. This is what I brought it to, so I think I'm in the right track. My niece is 13 and ended up in a psychological hospital for probably serious depression, and we don't know yet what. So I had this thought that I would send her pictures of what I'm working on, that maybe it would inspire her, make her happy, just make her happy. But it did make her happy. She asked if she got out of the hospital, if she could come visit me. So I thought that was like inspiration. And so that if she could hands dirty and play with something, that maybe she could get out of her sadness.
How
whatever.
wonderful.
I don't know the reasons and I don't know the depths of it, but I did say, yeah, you can come stay. And I thought maybe it's a tool that even though for me my art is clay, but maybe for others it inspires them to get in touch with their soul. So
that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Yeah, because working in clay, working in your mud really can help people. It really does ground them. It really. Would you keep us informed, please?
Oh, absolutely. And also, the barrage of drugs and labeling that happened, I thought, please just let her be. And so I'm hoping to get my hands on her so that we can play around and see if we can open up and find out what's bugging her. And so I just thought it was, that's what I heard. And so for me to sync would be, it's a practical thing. I need it every day, but it's a cleanse to it. And so I think that's what I got.
Good.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much, dear.
Thank you.
We're looking forward to what happens next. Yeah. Now, who else can share? Oh, wait a minute. Carol, can you share with us? Carol,
yes,
are you
I can
here?
Share. Yeah.
Yes, dear.
I can share. Just a
Mm-hmm.
minute.
Okay. We are here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, this isn't all together for me yet. What I heard was to write a story and to loosen your tongue.
Oh.
Yeah. And the example of a trouble or a difficulty that I placed in the center of myself has to do with my emotion code work, that I was working on my own family with an inherited emotion. And I found one and released it, and then I told my most of my siblings about this, and on email, so that it could be quick and I sent each one a separate message, and only 2 of them that I see now wrote back and said, wow, this is wonderful, and let's have some more information, and thanks for doing this. And 2 of them and the other 3 are silent. They have not responded to the email. I don't know what's going to go on, but today I could see that those 2 sisters of mine are very courageous to be able to look at this and talk about it and want to talk to each other about it, and that the other 3 are fearful, and we're going to have to find some way to lessen their fear so that they can listen.
And let me ask you, as you work with this emotion code, do you, and with what Baba Siri Chand gave you today, do you think that your work will actually maybe even have an effect on the other 3, even if they don't respond?
I hadn't thought of that yet. It has to have some kind of an effect because it works. They've been released. whether they want to think about the feeling that they had in the words that it was about in my mind. Maybe it's about something different for them. So I'll have to find that out.
Oh, good. And of course, everybody has different levels of readiness for healing too. So.
Yes, they do, and I'm aware of that. I don't ever work on anybody without their permission, and I just leave them alone unless they, are absolutely telling me that yes, let's do this now.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, what a delight. Well, keep up. Baba Siri Chand is very delighted. He's like a kid at a birthday party. He's delighted. Keep up, dear.
Good.
Who else would like to share?
Siri Gian?
Yes. Oh,
hey,
good.
Yes,
I was about to call on you. Rahmani.
Yeah. In relationship to what Suzanne was saying about her niece, we have a sculpture here on the land, and we're in Santa Fe, so everyone's welcome to visit any time. It's called the Madonna, spelled Mudonna, and it was created by 150 children under the kind of facilitation of a fellow whose name is Mudman. And
this is awesome.
Yeah, and these children put their prayers into the mud and onto paper and into this thing. I'll take a picture of it and put it, I'll try to get some help to put it on Facebook.
Okay.
And you can sit in it, especially children can crawl into it. It's like a lap, and it's facing south so that it picks up the warmth of the sun. So again, if I can't figure out how to put it on Facebook, maybe you can come by and sit in it, and we'll take a picture of you in it and put it on.
That would be funny.
Okay, get this, guys. This is so awesome. I asked the parents if I could take her to Santa Fe if she gets out of the hospital, and I remembered you talking about some special Madonna. And so I thought, well, there has to be something here. And can I look it up? I need the information on how to get there. And I don't even know if she's going to get out of the hospital, but I'm just going to imagine that she is. And wouldn't it be fun if I could get her this far?
Yeah, and you're welcome to stay with us. And we'll have to just exchange emails and phone numbers. And I have a 14-year-old granddaughter. And, come visit.
Well, so thank you.
Okay, so let's see. How are you going to exchange emails?
Mine, can I give it right now? I can
just know that this is going out into the public.
That's okay.
Everything.
Everybody.
Well, both of you send your emails to me, and then I'll send the emails back to both of you. How about that?
Okay.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Yeah,
good.
that'll work.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, this is fun.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to share was in what I was bringing up for the 10th gate, it was the fact that our daughter doesn't communicate much with us. And what I got was passive acceptance of our greatness. And it's very relaxing because I tend to try to make things better. And it was an interesting kind of marriage of being active to be passively aware of our greatness. So it was a kind of a different use of that kind of yang proactive energy towards being more passively receptive and cognizant of our greatness and not trying to do anything other than just relax into that and knowing that her separation is exactly what she needs to come into her own power. So not to take it personally.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Are you feeling better about the whole thing then?
Yeah, thank you.
Good. Okay, thank you. And now who else can share?
I'll share. This is Sadhna.
Hi, Sadhna.
I woke up with prana ups. What is that chant? Shushmana Hari. Prana Apana Shushmana Hari. Today. Mm-hmm. Like a cheerleader with pom-poms, you know. It was really that kind of walk. And I saw the spot where this happens in our meditation. And I felt, I experienced our crown and our head being rebuilt. Honestly, I did.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah, I felt it, and we did that. And it's sort of like our own head, but it's everybody's head. And it was also the Earth's head in her orbit has changed.
Oh, interesting.
And I felt how that shape felt in space. Mm-hmm. And then in the question, I got build it, just build it. And I saw this kind of a neuron shape thing. Uh-huh. And the difficulty that we were asked to resolve in this space that came to me was hair, women's hair. And I just saw women shaking their hair and letting it be. And the message was stop dyeing it. Just stop doing that. Really strongly. Like, don't even, this isn't about judgment of this thing. It's just, it's toxic and nasty. And it's hard on our crown. Mm-hmm. And so that was kind of interesting. And then, and I know my experience of when I used to do that, when I finally stopped, was life-saving, really, truly.
How was it life-saving?
It was making me sick.
Oh, really? How? In what way sick?
Nauseous, headaches, eye fluctuation, and it was affecting my aura in my head crown. Mm-hmm. And I felt miserable until I did it again. And it was increasingly uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. And right about that time, I stopped, and it was actually about the time I got my destiny name, which is very cool. Mm-hmm. And I learned about hair, and I've always loved my hair long and whatever it is. Mm-hmm. So that was really neat, really wonderful.
Oh, how delightful.
Yes.
So are you going to get the word out to women to not dye their hair?
I am in this way, and this happened over my birthday. Usually I really wear it up and I tuck it in scarves or hats, and my husband goes, please wear it down for a week for your birthday. Oh my gosh. And I'm so modest about it. I'm like really modest, like what would that be? But I was just so modest. And so I wore it down for the week, and I got so many reactions, compliments, and really people going, how, that really looks good on you, but I would never dare. And how did you let your hair get so long? And also it's silver and black and brown. Mm-hmm. And once I stopped dyeing it, the colors came back, like 3/4 back. Mm. That was pretty neat.
Yeah, amazing.
So, in that way, the word is out. And then I just felt people shaking their head, just like the dusting thing, where we're just shaking the cobwebs out. But it really had to do with the chemicals that we put on our head. So.
Well, that certainly makes a lot of sense. So keep up on all levels, on both the time and space, the everyday level, and also keep up with on the creation level, allowing that awareness to go out on, he calls it the waves of consciousness.
Yes, I will.
Good.
I am. Thank you. That's
okay. Thank you, dear. And thank you to everybody for sharing in this incredible arena of consciousness. You know, he keeps telling us that we are the oneness, and then he keeps leading us into this union, into this collective. He says, in this way, you are the pioneers, you are the lights, you are the joy provokers, and the place of awareness, the centers of light. So keep up. Okay, does anybody else have any questions or comments? Okay, now we're going to do our closing song. And keep up with your own awareness and consciousness, certainly over the week. Okay? So sit straight, palms together. And inhale. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you. And the pure light within you guide your way on. Guide your way on. Guide your way on. Inhale. Sat Nam. And feel cozy in your own precious place here on earth that is the womb of the universe. Bless you all. Sat Nam.
Thank you, Siri Gian. Thank you.
You are welcome. Sat Nam.